You are on the line. Of course, I'm Juan Roque, your host, with my partner in crime, the Rhino, Ryan Knowles. And of course, we are going to do the inaugural Roque's Rant, which I'm going to basically complain and make an issue of certain things during the course of the football game. Rhino, of course, is going to be here trying to keep my sanity together, and will tell me if I'm full of it, if he feels I'm full of it. So here we go. Of course, Rhino, my biggest rant is going to be the play of the offensive line. I don't think anyone's going to disagree. When you average 3.1 yards per carry, when you factor in the quarterback and the running backs, of course, the quarterback sometimes usually will scramble because he's running for his life based on a pass rush, but 3.1 yards per carry. Quarterback was sacked 3 times. Pass rush, blitz was a problem. Coney Ely was in the backfield constantly. And then we have, of course, the issues with Bryce Schwab. And I love Bryce, don't get me wrong. He's a great kid. I think he has a lot of upside. I think he has the potential to play beyond ASU. But when you jump off sides twice, on first and goal on the 8, and you end up first and goal on the 18, that's a hell of a tough offense to call right now.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, he really put them in a tough spot between that. And, of course, I talked about in the last segment that ineligible man downfield penalty didn't help things either. Luckily, they were able to keep that drive going. But, you know, when you're talking about an attacking front seven like Mizzou has, you need the offensive line to really bring their A game.
Absolutely.
And they did.
Especially on the road.
They did.
Especially on the road.
Schwab was a big culprit. Jamil Douglas, to me, didn't play his best game either. I felt like he was a little bit slow getting out of the break. He could have played, I felt like, much better against a player of the caliber of Sheldon Richardson.
Yeah, and Sheldon Richardson was considered a disappointment. This is a guy who on SportsCenter, any sports show, said, hey, this guy is not getting it done. Of course, he called out Georgia about old man football.
That's right.
And, of course, Georgia takes it to Mizzou at home. And this is a guy who a lot of people were saying was a failure at Mizzou. He comes into the ASU game, and he has 9 tackles, a sack. Yeah. He's in the backfield constantly. Jamil Douglas, it's not for lack of talent. It's not for lack of anything other than I just almost feel like this whole line mentally, for whatever reason, just was not ready to go when the kickoff happened, right now?
Yeah, and, I mean, it does go back to coaching. I mean, we both like Bob Connolly.
I do. I think he's a great coach. Considering what they had, what they had before, when you could say the dinosaur Greg Smith, who didn't teach his players, he just yelled at them. You got a guy now who's teaching them technique, teaching them fundamentals, and trust me, I would guarantee you, this week in practice, preparing for Utah, he's going to be in their heads.
All right. Well, yeah, it's going to take some time for them to get acclimated to him, to learning those techniques and translating them onto the field.
Absolutely.
And we haven't
not
really
down
seen,
on them, but just pissed off on what I saw.
We haven't really seen that overwhelming play. We haven't really seen that that overwhelming play of the offensive line that's really set the tone and allowed them to run the ball with any kind of consistency either. I mean,
right.
Just not. It's a very to me it's a very subpar unit right now. They're just not going out there and taking over a game like you want to see a team play, and you want to see. And as much as Todd Graham wanted to run the ball this year, he is not. You got to have an O line in place that's going to allow you to do that. That's going to open up holes for your running backs. And right now, that's just not the case.
And they have the talent to do it. That's why I'm pulling my hair out. They're not subpar talent.
No,
they're not inferior talent. It's not like they went into Missouri and got beat up by a team that was superior to them physically.
No, I don't think so.
Because I don't believe they were either. I think we have the talent to compete. They've got the players in place now that can definitely beat the snot out of somebody. They just got to go do it. And that's what, as an offensive lineman, when you see fundamental mistakes like that, it just aggravates you because these guys, like I said, they have talent. They got a coach in place that's teaching them. To me, they got to get it together because, again, 3 sacks, 3.1 yards per carry. They got to be better.
I mean, it's been like this. It's been like this for a while. I mean, the cupboard was a little bit bare when you talk about the offensive line. I mean, I think getting Evan Goodman was a huge get for Todd Graham. He's going to be a stud, I think, at that tackle position. But then you go back to over the years to guys that they haven't been able to get. Andres Pete starting at Stanford right now as a true freshman. Christian Westerman as a sophomore starting at Auburn. That's right. And they just lost out on Mountain Point's Kenny Lacy to UCLA. That they really got to go back to the drawing board as far as that offensive line goes. Because I mean, the guys they have right now are they have all the physical skills, but I just don't know if they're not really moldable. If to coin the for a new phrase there, but they haven't really been able to mold them, I think, into the caliber of players that they want.
And on their defense, I think as the season goes on, maybe we'll see that eliminated.
I hope so. And
let's just hope not hope. I expect them to get it right. I expect them to get it together.
Yeah, and they
got some great players up there. Cody Kabinski, Jamil Douglas, Evan Finkerberg's shown flashes of being great. And to me, again, Bryce Schwab's one of my favorite players on that front. That's why I'm pissed off because I want to see these guys do good. I want to see them dominate. And That's my inaugural rant, so I hope you
There it is.
enjoyed it. As you know, every week we're going to talk about something that Juan could complain about. This week was the O-line, and we ain't mad at you, O-line. We love you. We just want to see you do good.
Yes.
When we get back, we're going to start previewing the Utes right now, get into a little bit what the Devils are going to face this Saturday.